I want to talk about how important today is. I want to talk about today, in that today matters. In order to build a better life, in order to build a life that matters for us and for our children, we must do two things, a minimum of two things. Number one is we must make good decisions. Write that down. We must make good decisions. Simply by walking across the street and looking both ways might seem simple to us, but you got to make the decision to do that so that you don't get in the way of oncoming traffic and get yourself wiped out. It's the simple things. It's the little things. So we must make good decisions. And then the second thing is we must practice good discipline. We must practice good discipline. I mean, let's face it. Everyone wants to be thin, right? Say yes. Everybody wants to be thin. Yet, no one wants to diet. Everybody wants to be thin, but no one wants to diet. So write this down. Decisions help us start. Discipline helps us finish. Decisions help us start, and discipline helps us finish. When we practice the discipline of 30 minutes worth of exercise, you just practice, you make the decision to exercise, right? That's number one, that's good for you. And then you practice that decision with the discipline, you carry it out for 30 minutes, and you're done with it. How do you feel about yourself? Good. You feel really good about you. You might be tired, you might be sweating, but you feel really, really good about yourself. So I wrote down here, the greatest gap in life is the one between knowing and doing. The greatest gap is between knowing what to do and then doing it. That's where the problem is. That's where the disconnect comes in. Because, look, truth is there anyone in this room who really doesn't know what they're supposed to do every day, every week, every month? Is there really? You really don't know? I don't think so. The disconnect is not in the knowing. It's in the discipline of the doing. That's where we have to start and get that done. See, that's really, if you look at our Master's Advantage program, the real power in that program is in its simplicity. It's so simple. Get up, go knock 5 doors, 5 expireds. Okay, it's true, you got to look up the expireds. That could be a little bit of a problem. Okay, and then go preview 5 properties in one general area so that you don't have to drive too far. And then door knock 10 houses around each one. It doesn't get any simpler. It doesn't get any simpler than that. The simplicity of the program is the real power. When people do that, I wrote down here, stop fighting it. Stop fighting it. Stop fighting the program. You want to fight me, it's okay. Okay? But the program works. We're going to start a new column. It's going to say, Neil was right. Okay? Okay, God, I can't tell you, every day, not exaggerating, every day I get a phone call or somebody comes up to me in the office and says to me, I tried X, or I did Y, or you told me to go do this, or you told me to go say that, and they come back to me and they say, whoa, it really works. It's like I gave them like a magic formula or something. There's no magic formula here. It's just simply doing it. I wrote down here, stop waiting to get started. Stop waiting to get started, to get ready, to get going, to make sure it's absolutely right. I wrote down, stop looking around to see who else is doing the activities. You want to know something else I get every day? I get agents coming up to me and say, are they really doing that? Does Susie really do that? Does Mary really do that? You know, do the Scalios really door knock 3 hours a day, 5.5 days a week for the last 6 years with almost no misses? Do they really do that? You know the answer. You know, do Mark and Al get to the office before anyone else gets to the office in the morning and usually stay later? Does Monica Diaz knock more doors and talk to more people than most agents do in any given week? We have story after story after story after story. Do they really do that? Stop disbelieving. Stop it. I wrote down here, the first quarter's gone. First quarter's gone. 2011. It's 2011, and the first quarter is gone, finished, done. If you've hit your goals, congratulations. If you haven't, then we have some work to do. We've got to get this done. There are 14 days left in this quarter. There are 14 days left. 14 work days. 14 work days. We've been talking about this since the 1st of March. Adam was talking about March Madness. I don't care what you have to call it. I don't care what you need to do to light that fire under your tush. I don't care. But you have 14 work days to make a change. The question I wrote down here is, did you do the activities from the beginning of the month? There was 22 work days. We started. Did you do the activities that you were supposed to do? Did you make those phone calls? Did you knock on those doors? Did you do the things that you were supposed to do? And if so, congratulations. And if not, you still have 14 days to fix it. Remember, when you work out for 30 minutes, and that was your goal, at the end of 30 minutes, you feel really good about yourself, right? So how would you like to feel really good about yourself every single day? You know how to do that? All you got to do is write a list of activities. 5 houses, 20 doors, 3 previews. Don't worry about selling a house or listing a house. Don't worry about that. That's going to come because of the activities. But do the activities on a daily, weekly basis, and you'll feel really good about yourself at the end of the day. I wrote down here, you may have a million reasons why not to get started now. You may have a million reasons why not to get started now. But deep down, look inside of you. None of them can be as compelling as your desire to change, your desire to grow, and your desire to succeed. There may be a million reasons for not doing this. I hear them all. Actually, I probably heard about 1.5 million. Okay? You guys sometimes are very creative as to why you're not doing something. It's very good. You know, I'm giving A+ out there on why we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. Yet the truth is that there's a compelling desire inside each and every one of you to accomplish what it is that you set forth to accomplish. I wrote down here, in a month or a year or 5 years from now, you may only have one regret. In a month, a year, or 5 years from now, you may only have one regret. And that regret is that you didn't start today. You didn't start today. That's why today matters. Today matters. Because your future, your end of the 14 days that we have left, your end of the 6 months, your end of 2011. And let me tell you something. You think there's a lot of time left in 2011, right? Say yes. Yes. Sure. Oh, come on, you do. You think there's a lot of time left. Man, there's like plenty of months left here. Let me tell you something. Christmas is coming. It's coming, and it's right in front of you. And very, very shortly, the 25th of December is going to be there and go, whoa, where did that come from? I mean, think about it. Weren't we all just sitting around New Year's Eve saying, wow, thank goodness 2010's done. Looking forward to 2011, making changes, making goals, and all of a sudden, 1/4 of 2011's gone. 2011 is a lot shorter than you can imagine. That's why today matters. The way you spend today can really change your life, but you need to make the decision to change. And here's part of this. John Wooden, may rest in peace, one of the winningest coaches UCLA history, maybe in NCAA history, told his players, you have to give it 100% every day. You have to give it 100% every single day. Because if you only give it 75% today, you can't give it 125% tomorrow to make up for it. It doesn't work that way. You guys get me? Yes. You've got to give it your all today. Today matters. What you do today matters. It's all part of the big picture. Draw a line on your paper, please. I want you to write down why attitude matters today. Why attitude matters today. It's possible for people with great talent and great drive and a bad attitude to succeed. It is possible. Great talent, great drive, bad attitude, it is possible. However, it doesn't happen very often. I want you to think about this. How many people in your life who are successful by whatever standard you want to apply? How many people in your life do you know that are successful that have a bad attitude? Think about that. How many people have a bad attitude that you can think of that are successful? How many people can you think of that are successful are negative all the time? How many people can you think of that are successful by the standards by which you apply success are negative all the time? You got to write this down. Most often, people with bad attitudes don't get very far in life. Most often, people with bad attitudes don't get very far in life. And I wrote down here, your attitude at the beginning of a task affects its outcome more than anything else. If you have a bad attitude toward prospecting and you don't feel really good about it, and it's a drudgery and I really don't want to do this and I can't believe he's making me do this. Oh my God, not this again, not this again. And you start out there, what are the chances of you having some good success during that 2 or 3 hour period? Not good, right? Say yes. And yet, if you start with a good attitude, you start with a positive approach, you start with an expectation of, I'm going to get business, I'm going to create opportunity for me by going out and doing those deals, more times than not, that happens. I wrote down here, top athletes and top business people know that all things being equal, attitude wins. Top athletes and top business people, everything equal, attitude wins. You may be better than me technically. You may know how to do a presentation better than me. You may know the comps better than me, but I'm telling you, I will beat you like a drum on a listing presentation because of my attitude going into it. You don't have a chance. That's the truth. That is the attitude you have to carry going into it. There are agents that are technically very good at this business. And they walk in with the sour face and they don't understand, darn it, why don't I get the business? How come they listed with Susie? She doesn't understand the comp, she doesn't know this, she doesn't know that. You're right. You're right. But look at your attitude. Attitude is what we're talking about. I wrote down here, you guys want a secret weapon? You know what the secret weapon the athletes call the secret weapon? Attitude. Athletes call their secret weapon their attitude, their approach. How they approach what's going on. Make attitude your secret weapon. Your positive attitude. I wrote down here, the market is changing. Are you? The market's changing. It's going up, it's going down. It's easier, it's harder. It's harder to get a loan, it's easier to get a loan. They got this program, they got that program. There's all kinds of changing going around. How much time, here's a question, how much time do you spend working making yourself a better salesperson? How much time do you spend making yourself a better salesperson? Reading, practicing, working on your presentation, videotaping your presentation, rewriting your presentation, going out and previewing properties. Biggest thing, hardest thing for me to communicate to you to do. And I'm going to make the plea again right now. Okay? You want to get great in this business. You want to get fabulous in this business. Learn your inventory. And there's only one way to learn inventory. One way. And that's to go see it. You're not going to get it. You know, some agents, I look at all these pictures on the internet. You know, I spend hours on the internet looking at pictures. Ain't happening. Ain't happening. Know your inventory. Go see, here's a challenge for you. We've got 24 cities that we basically service and cover very strong. Why don't you start in A, in Azusa, and go see every house in Azusa, then go to B, Baldwin Park, then go to C, Claremont. You could kind of like go down the alphabet, you'll get to Walnut last, and you'll be here, and you'll start all over, right? Say yes. Go see every house that's listed for sale over the next 12 months. Two things will happen. You'll become the most powerful expert in pricing in the entire area, number one. And number two, I guarantee you, you will find business out looking at property. More business than you can shake a stick at. Just going and looking at property. Secret weapon. The market is changing. Are you? I wrote down here, so the first question was, how much time do you spend working on making yourself a better salesperson? The second question is, how much time do you spend working on making yourself a better person? A better husband, a better wife, a better son, a better daughter? How much time? It's all huge. It's important. It all is part of it. Bill Gates said, if you were born poor, it's not your mistake. If you were born poor, it's not your mistake. But if you die poor, it's your fault. Think about that. If you're born poor, it's not your fault. You were born poor. So what? But if you die poor in this greatest country on the planet, with the opportunity that abounds, as good or bad as you think America is, there's no place on this planet that has more opportunity for each and every one of us, no matter where we came from, no matter what our upbringing was, no matter what our background is, no matter if you're young or old, no matter if you're a man or a woman, it doesn't matter. The opportunity is there. Bill Gates says it succinctly. If you're born poor, it's not your fault. Okay? We all have been absolved. But if you die poor, shame on you. Shame on you in this country. And the opportunity is out there. All you have to do is take action every day. I wrote down here, we have wishes and dreams, but no commitment or definiteness to change what we are doing to ensure the desired result. We have to take action, and you have to take it today. A lot of times we make decisions by default. We make decisions because we didn't decide, we didn't act, and the decision was made for us. Example, the market passed us by. Remember what I told you? 3 or 4 years from now, people are going to be looking back saying, wow, I wish I would have bought some property in 2010, 2011, 2012. They are going to look back at this time in the marketplace as well. Hey, I'll bet you know of some deals right now that you wish you'd have bought 2 years ago, huh? Just 2 years ago, there are some deals that I wish I would have taken advantage of just 2 years ago, that I would have made money on 2 years later in this supposed negative marketplace. The market passed us by because we did nothing. We did nothing partially because we didn't take action. And here's if we could have taken action, but we didn't. Or worse, we couldn't take action because we didn't have the dollars to take action because we didn't do what we were supposed to do on the days we were supposed to do it, to have a little extra dollars out there to be able to invest it. And then the other one is the client bought from another agent because we didn't follow up enough. Remember, the question is, how many deals have you lost from under following up? How many deals have you lost over the last 12 to 24 months from under following up? Not returning phone calls fast enough, not getting there fast enough, not doing... How many deals? If you walk around the room, I'll bet you we can count a lot of money that fell through the cracks. The other question is, how many deals have you lost from over following up? From over following up. Probably not many. I wrote down here, as a salesperson, by not preparing for a changing marketplace or a changing economy, we have chosen by default not to do as well or not to earn as much as we possibly could out there over the next year or two. By default, we've chosen because we didn't do what we were supposed to do. I wrote down here, our decision to not act in truth means we still have made a choice. Our decision to not act, to not take action, means we've made a choice. Now, maybe it's not the choice you would like to have made. It's a choice you make by default. It starts with taking action. I wrote down here, what will it be? What will it be for the next 14 work days? Will it be action or inaction? Will it be action or inaction? I'm not asking anyone to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about doing what you're supposed to be doing on the days you're supposed to be doing it. Action, inaction. Action, inaction. What's it going to be? What will you do in the next 24 hours? How are you going to spend them? What actions are you going to take to move your career forward? Make yourselves better salespeople, better people in general. Remember, it starts and ends with me. It starts and ends with you, each and every one of you. Today matters. Now let's go out and make this the best 14 days in our career. Thank you.